Good morning, good afternoon. It's Andrew from Time+Tide, about to tour you through 5 of my favourite new Longines novelties of 2021. Starting with the one that is on my wrist, my beloved, and I call it my because I talk so much about my Avigation Big Eye watch. There's been an update, or there's been a new variation added, which is this petrol blue variation on the dial with photina on the hands and a different feel on the wrist. And that's because this model is in titanium. How does that change the experience? I have to say, not very much. The difference in weight is not really that noticeable, which is surprising. The rest of the dimensions are still the same. It's 14.5 millimeters high off the wrist, and the original diameter of this watch was 41 millimeters. So it really feels the same. If I close my eyes, it could be the same, but certainly to the eyes, it is a very different Avigation. The second watch is a new line extension of the Longines Legend Diver, again with a degradé dial, this time with a sort of a coffee, like a dark roast coffee degradé brown dial with like a really nice liquid sheen to the rigueur, which is in a much darker brown. And this is a 42 millimeter model. It's the same 12.7 millimeters high off the wrist. It's quite slim for a dive watch. And despite the dressy appearance of this watch, it's actually good for 300 meters of water resistance. So it's true to its name, diver by name, diver very much by nature, though I would recommend you change the strap. My second favorite Legend Diver line extension is this delightful midnight degradé blue dial that goes from a black on the sort of glossy rail all the way into this sort of slightly lighter blue in the center. Everything else about this watch, including the super compressor style case and the internal rotating bezel, are the same. The fourth model is a new heritage reissue. This is a Silver Arrow, it's called, which is, we guess this to be 36 millimeters because it looks quite small. It's actually 38.5. The reason it loses some of that diameter is because, in my opinion, of this thick bezel. The bezel shrinks the watch by being probably a millimeter or two thicker than you'd expect. The good side of that is that it really makes the watch appear more robust for a vintage style. The thing that jumped out to me immediately about this watch and put it in contention for my top 5 is the notching of the indexes. It has this really lovely engine-turned notching that gives it a very different light reflective quality. We also have some lovely dressy touches like an applied logo, and again, some nice script font to describe this as the Silver Arrow. Solid case back, of course, and a really lovely iteration of a mid-century dress watch. Last but not least is the new colorway for the Longines Hydro Conquest, which is in this lovely PVD gold, rose gold, with what they're describing as a silver dial. To me, this is more of a light gray, and it does have a sunray finish to the dial, so that the light really sort of bends around as you move the watch. Lovely contrast, and again, we have an integrated rubber strap. For a 41 millimeter sports watch that can do just about anything, you still can't go past the Hydro Conquest. I got really snagged on the khaki version last year, the olive green version. I think I featured that in every list. I wore it all the time. It's a cracking watch for that price point. And this, I think, just adds a touch of luxe. It adds a touch of extra elegance, because this colorway is very rarely seen, like grey and rose gold. It should be seen more, in my opinion. I do love rose gold and grey, and this is very much why. So there you have it, a quick little express flyover of our favorite new Longines models of 2021. If you have any questions about what you've seen today, let us know in the comments. And of course, we're always keen to hear which of these 5 you most like. Thanks for watching.